I'm gonna be honest with you guys for a second. I want to preface the video. First, everything I say is my own opinion and everything like that. Just don't take it the wrong way. By the way, thank you for taking the time out of your day to, pay attention to my video if you do and hear me out. Hopefully I have some points that you guys think are some good points. And I just wanted to talk about this concept. So, this actually speaks. Oh, by the way, just thank you. By the way, just much love for checking this out. Let's get into it though. First thing I want to say is I feel like there is toxicity in any fan base, in any genre of just media that's online that can garner a base of people who watch it. I think the Jujutsu Kaisen, just fan base is absolutely just becoming not one of the worst, because again, it's what you pay attention to, but just some of the stuff I see, I can't even like confidently sit here and lie to you guys and say that it's one of the worst fan bases. It's what I want to say, but there's a lot of good on both sides. And I really think reality is what you pay attention to, and everything is perspective. I do like to pay attention to the better half. I always like to pay attention to the good and everything. And I think the real good that comes out of the JJK community, Gojo stands and all that, is just the ones that are enjoying it. Not the ones that come at cosplayers for not being the color of the characters. Because see, that's a brain dead take that annoys me. These characters are fictional. And also, these characters are like the gods and pantheons. The characteristics of certain gods and characters in shows and media are supposed to be, you have these qualities. You can relate to them no matter the skin color. So it's annoying when there's trolls in the community saying this, because there's genuinely actual people that exist that believe this. They may be a small minority, but sometimes it feels like the small minority is getting a louder voice. Then another thing with this, and it's, again, I'm not just being Jujutsu Kaisen based, but it's this toxic ass freaking culture about power scaling. That shit blows my mind. Like, I want to spoil something a little bit quickly, but you know what? For the sake of this video, I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to talk about two characters individual, Gojo and Sukuna, right? And the writing of Gege, which blows my mind. Like my last video, I don't know if I ended up uploading this in order, because I'm going to have other videos before this, but before or after, it depends on when I upload this one in the order. But my Gege video, that he's actually a good writer, I tried to literally laugh and stay like optimistic and see points from both sides, because that's my being in real life. I do this. I try to see from people's perspectives, and I usually do. That's why I respect everyone having their opinions and not liking parts of the story and whatever. But you have genuine people going out of their way to make videos and to be in comments defending their favorite character in a story written by a guy who can do whatever he wants. I remember a meme coming out, but I guess it was like True or whatever, that Gege, I think I added that in that video too, that it came out that Gege was actually friends with the writer of Akame ga Kill. If you've never seen Akame ga Kill, this may be the only part I spoil. So skip just a little bit ahead if you don't want to hear it. I'm going to say it pretty fast. Newsflash, if you've never watched Akame ga Kill, majority of all the people die. So, I see memes coming out that the joke is that that's where Jujutsu Kaisen is heading. Everybody is going to die, right? And and I'm making this video because it's like annoying. Why can't we all just enjoy something? Like, I get a favorite character dies or somebody dies and blah, blah, blah. And we're upset over it. But the amount of cope to make whole argument videos that Gege is a bad writer and things like this just feels so disingenuous to a creator that it has literally, his work of art has made it into the consciousness of all of us. We all see it. So you mean to tell me that someone who is a bad writer, like, listen, when it comes to art is subjective, but this is the thing too that's disingenuous. It made you feel. That is the point of artistic or anything creative, is to make you feel. When you see good architecture on the street, and I'm trying to do this fast so it's like under 10 minutes, but when you see good architecture, when you eat a good meal from a restaurant, the chef is the artist. How do people not have more of this perspective? And I'm not saying everyone needs to be like me, but how do you not have a broader view? It's okay, pick your side and have fun and fight in the comments with who's better, who's stronger and whatever. But I swear that power scalers and everything are just some of the most toxic people. And I get it. I see both sides. I've been toxic before too. I thought Luffy one day will reach a point where he could beat Goku. I joke about that. I do this. And all jokes aside, please put it in the comments. He probably get folded, but I was waiting for him to get his god form and everything. Basically, that's pretty much where Luffy's at. He's the sun god, okay? Like, let's stop playing. So he's a god form. And people want to throw, like, that's how you know. Another thing about that, with Goku being Ultra Instinct and all of these types of things, you do realize, like, when it comes to God and ultimate power and anything like that, is if the writers themselves were focusing on that section of things, if you achieve the power of God, which everyone in consciousness believes, everyone who believes in religion and all these things, God is above all, the almighty. So, okay, so all these different pantheons of gods, technically, if you reach that state, that you're all on God level. So technically, Luffy just, if it's said in the story, he would technically be on multi-universal fucking rubber to blow up other planets. It would just be like that. But no, then we got to factor in that other gods are stronger than other gods. It's like, bro, there's just so much nuance and stupid shit to all this. And I want to say too, I'm not emotional or anything about it, and I'm not taking it personally. I don't lose sleep, but it does make it unfun. Like, my best advice to anyone coming into a series or anything like that is to just watch it and avoid fandoms. So true. Like, to not have things ruined. You can argue all these points. You can argue everything. There's polarity in everything. But I think this is one of the best things. Like, that's why I'm not paying attention to anything solo leveling. From what I've seen, solo leveling is a pretty cool fan base, but I'm not paying attention to anything around solo leveling. I won't pay attention to anyone trying to freaking power scale him to One Punch Man and all that, because this dude does get powerful. I read the manhwa, and then, you know, now I'm following along because I got interested on my main channel when someone sent me the video. But this conversation, man, is absolutely appalling, dude. That, like, people are so hurt over Gojo and Sukuna, and it really makes me feel like people weren't paying attention to the story the way I do. And you know what I mean by that is just like, they weren't paying attention to it in the way I was, to where it almost creates this, are they actually paying attention to the story? Or are they just watching it because Gojo's a strong character? Or are you truly getting immersed? And that's totally okay if you're not. Again, you're going to enjoy things in different ways. But then if you're going to try to get fully immersed and then go in these arguments and battles, which acting like you know everything that happened in the story, it feels disingenuous, because it just shows the larger thing of humanity. That people can't just agree to disagree with certain things and just move on. There's copers on both sides, Sukuna and Gojo, and all this. And I feel like a lot of these battles come from people that barely are even paying attention to the story. But when I seen the slight details that Gege was putting in, I knew what would be the outcome of certain events in the story. Now, when it comes to certain characters dying and stuff like that, and blah de blah, and all 2 cents, it's like, listen, Gege can do what he wants with the story. And yes, that is a valid argument, because it's his story that you fell in love with. Whether you can call it poor writing or not, I mean, leave that to people who are actually authors that write shit, because that's not my lane. But I can personally subjectively say I think I write well. I've been told this in English school. There's English class. There's my credentials. I've written really good reviews on things. So, you know, I pay attention enough to, I guess, I don't know. I'm just trying to say this, that it's funny that, like, people who really aren't qualified to speak on certain things that much speak on it, right? It's like, okay, so you're showing that you barely paid attention to the story, because if you paid attention and could pick up the hints, then I could see how you're seeing it, like, from my perspective, where it's like you're seeing it as in, my perspective is that you're actually paying attention to all the minute details in the story, right? And it's like this. If everyone has found out now that Gege is friends with whatever the manga creator for Akame ga Kill, it's like, okay, so then with that evidence, he's kind of treating this like real life, you know? And I made this analogy before. It's like, are you guys going to say that when God kills someone who everyone deems as like just astute individual, I don't even know if I'm wording that right, but say like Black Panther, the Chadwick Boseman, rest his soul, seriously, him, when he died, you think everybody was saying that was fair? I'm pretty sure everybody was like, that is not fair. He was a good dude, downright. Like, I think the death even messed up Michael B. Jordan for a little bit. Dude stayed quiet about his condition, then he just got up and died. Are y'all gonna tell me that God's a bad writer? Like, come on. I hope some people made it to the end of this 10 minutes. My ear just started ringing. That means I'm in synchronicity, dude. I just like y'all gonna tell me that God's a bad writer? That's the real evidence I have for this. It's like, say somebody who's changed, Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast ends up getting hit by a car if people like Mr. Beast for like all the what is this philanthropy that he does with giving all the money in Africa and everything. Mr. Beast hit by drunk driver. YouTube, please. I'm giving an analogy, bro. It's not real, in game. It's just stop. Don't kill my video. In game also, because they don't like you saying that word either. Boom. So Mr. Beast hit by a car. Y'all gonna tell me God is a bad writer for writing that in? He was taken out by a drunk driver. Uh-oh. God, what the hell? You're a bad writer. Why'd you build up this great character just to take him out? Come on, y'all. Like it's absolutely tiring, dude. Just enjoy the show for what it is. And like I said, things are what you would pay attention to. So am I at fault for paying attention to this and being a little bit just like upset about it? Yeah, it is me. It is me. It's 100%. You know, I don't have to pay attention. But you know, it's like that thing where you know that feeling. I talked about this in the video I actually just shot, where when you go to a video, sometimes you just scroll to the comments to see what people are saying. Humans value connection, and through connection there's communication. We like to communicate and talk about the things we like. So I feel like just nowadays you can't like anything anymore. You can't just be like, oh man, that was a crazy twist. I did not expect the author to take it that way. I'm impressed. I might not agree with it, but I'm impressed. And I know other people aren't gonna like it. But no, we get these extremists, bro, that almost like, I feel like, start to take over the face of a fandom or just things like that, dude. And I mean, again, it is what you pay attention to. So yeah, like, but I'm gonna leave it alone now because I just hate seeing these people try to wank their favorite characters into why losing just made no sense or just things like that. It's like, dude, just enjoy the story. And if you don't like it, stop paying attention to it. Wait, why do you keep paying attention to it? Oh, because you want to see how it ends? Or maybe just be honest. Maybe you just like it. Anyways, I'm out of here. Peace out. And hopefully you see what I'm saying and don't think that I'm just saying like the whole fandom's bad and yada, yada, yada and everything. Because I don't think that. I think most fandoms of certain things are okay, but sometimes they become super toxic. Sometimes they feel like characters in a certain show or whatever are just absolutely untouchable. And I think it's this false, like it's not projecting. Like maybe they're projecting themselves into the character, but it's this obsession with power fantasy almost. You know, when they're told someone is the strongest, that is law. That person has to be the strongest. It's like, it's just showing that even the strongest can get knocked down too, bro. Like, come on. People are mad that Jujutsu Kaisen almost grounds you in reality. I mean, if you're going to call Gege a bad writer, and if you believe in God, then if Gege is made in his image, I guess you're calling God a bad writer. All right, I'm out. Peace.